Colson chats with Boardroom about her decision to leave the Las Vegas Aces and join the Indiana Fever, the current state of women basketball, what she's been up to in the content game, and much more.
Did you hear about the big shakeup in the WNBA? A'ja Wilson is really upset after her longtime teammate and close friend, Sydney Colson, made a huge move. Colson left the back-to-back champion Las Vegas Aces to join Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever.
Two-time WNBA champion Sydney Colson is officially signing a one-year deal with the Indiana Fever. So, the Fever just keep on doing what they've been doing. They're not playing no games in Indiana.
That's right, the so-called Aces dynasty might be starting to fall apart, and fans of A'ja Wilson are freaking out. But here's the truth, out of all the moves the Fever made this off-season, this one could be the most significant. It could be the final piece that turns Indiana into a serious championship contender. Are you ready to see how this all plays out? Let's dive in.
Obviously, you made a big change in leaving the Aces for the Fever. What made you want to join Indiana? Here we go. Sydney Colson stated it was a variety of things. There was a new coaching staff. Amber Cox was a big part of that. Kelsey Mitchell, I played with her for the first 3 seasons. Joanna Barner and Natasha Howard are players I respected from afar. Enjoy their game. Kate Martin, my teammate from the Aces, obviously good friends with Caitlin Clark. They play together at Iowa, and she speaks really highly of her. And obviously, we saw the rookie year that she had.
Imagine this, A'ja Wilson wakes up, checks her phone, and sees the news, her most trusted teammate is gone. Not traded. Not cut. Gone by choice. Sydney Colson, a 2-time WNBA champion with the Aces, wasn't just another player on the team. She was Wilson's go-to person, her closest confidant, and the heart of the locker room. But something changed. Colson began to look beyond the Vegas fame and championship titles, deciding it was time for a new chapter.
First of all, this WNBA free agency will not let us rest. Number one, we literally cannot rest. But also, I love this move again. Like, Sydney Colson is a great player, but she's also a player that is going to add even more to what we're going to talk about later, and that's that chemistry of the team.
Here's the twist. Colson wasn't just important on the court, she was the glue that held the Aces together. The ultimate teammate, the locker room leader, the one who kept everyone's spirits up when things got tough. Every championship team needs that player, the one who lifts everyone around them, simply by being there.
Her, Kelsey, and Aaliyah, Boston, they had something special the second half of the season, and I just look at them as a young, hungry team. Our veteran president with Joanna Barner, Natasha, and me coming from winning programs who have been around the league for a long time and can help infuse something in that team that can take them far in the playoffs, bruh.
Now let's turn our attention to Indiana. The Fever are making moves like a team that knows they're on the brink of something big. They've signed Natasha Howard, brought in Dawanna Borner, added Sophie Cunningham to the roster, and now, with Sydney Colson on board, the Fever are clearly building something special. And they're not exactly trying to keep it a secret. Clip 6. But the real question is, why did Colson leave a championship caliber team? Fans are stunned, social media is buzzing, and no one saw this coming. Aces fans are still in shock, while Fever fans are celebrating like they just hit the jackpot.
You mean to tell me that two-time WNBA champion, the face of the God Dog League, okay? The Aces' main girl, right-hand man, Sydney Colson, is no longer returning to the Aces and is signing with the Indiana Fever? First of all, do the Fever even have any more roster spots open? How many folks are you guys going to sign?
Here's the bottom line. Colson chose Caitlin Clark over A'ja Wilson. Let that sink in. The player Wilson called her favorite teammate, the one she trusted most, just packed up and headed to Indiana. This isn't just a roster change, this is a power shift. The WNBA is entering a new era, and Indiana just made it crystal clear, they're here to take over.
She's the face of the league, self-appointed face of the league, but also just in entertainment and all of these things. She has done and achieved so many things and continues to find amazing places in the WNBA, including with the Indiana Fever right now. And I'm just really, listen, what other moves they gonna make? Because I love this one too. It just great move after great move after great move. But
this move is about more than just basketball. It's about building something real, something that lasts. The Fever aren't just adding a backup guard for Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell, they're bringing in a proven leader, a defensive powerhouse, and someone who knows exactly what it takes to win at the highest level. And as for A'ja Wilson? Let's just say she's not handling this well. Social media has been on fire, with her fans freaking out over Coulson's departure. So what is it about Sydney Colson that's got everyone so worked up?
I'm excited for Sydney Colson, and I'm excited for the Indiana Fever because they have an amazing player who is also very hilarious, like one of the funniest people in the league. So really excited to see this.
Imagine the content between Sydney and Caitlin. It's going to be comedy.
Content for days. I know the Indiana Fever front office is just celebrating because that is a part of it too, is content and having players that are going to be good at that. So come on, Sydney.
Let's break it down. On paper, Coulson might not look like a game changer. She's not a high volume scorer, and you won't see her putting up 30 points every night. But that's not what makes her special. She's a defensive disruptor, a playmaker with elite court vision, and a player who can hit clutch shots when the game is on the line. Now, imagine those skills alongside Caitlin Clark, or picture Coulson stepping up to control the game while Clark catches her breath. That's the kind of depth that turns a good team into a great one.
What do you mean Sydney Colson is joining the Indiana Fever? What does that mean? Indiana is just being so greedy right now. They took DB, they took Natasha. Now they got Sydney Colson. Like, why would they take Sydney from us? Why would they take Sydney from us? What the fuck we ever do to Indiana? Except beat them. But like, what the fuck we ever do to Indiana?
Coulson's value isn't about flashy stats. The Fever didn't bring her in to be their top scorer. They already have plenty of firepower. What they needed was a player who can shut down opposing guards, make smart plays, and deliver when it matters most. Someone who can step up in high-pressure situations and keep their cool when the stakes are at their highest.
Let's see. I'm really trying here not to crash out, okay? I can't take too much more. I just said the other day, what did I say? Another bomb is Sunday. I said, this isn't it. You know, I can't wait to see what the next bomb would be. Didn't know this would be the bomb. Stephanie White ain't playing fair. I have to say it again. Stephanie White is not playing fair. She on one.
But what really sets Coulson apart is her leadership. She's not just another player on the roster, she's a two-time champion who has been through the grind and knows exactly what it takes to win. For a young team like Indiana, that experience is priceless. Coulson is the type of player who elevates everyone around her, keeping her teammates focused and locked in when the season gets challenging.
Sydney Colson is a two-time WNBA champion, a true vet, an amazing backup point guard. And anytime that CC or any of the guards need to go to the bench, I mean, Sydney Colson always makes the right call, always makes the right decision. So to pick up a vet, a professional like Sydney Colson, and then you also have a vet like DeWanna Bonner, and you also have a vet like Kelsey Mitchell, and then you have CC and Aaliyah Boston and Lexi